Hi, this is Neil Bellon, and this is another video in a series of chess videos demonstrating my teaching style as a chess coach. And the topic of this video is tactics. And this is actually very important. Tactics for any tournament player, but especially a beginning tournament player, is really crucial to success. And if a student is experiencing tactical problems, his or her progress is going to be, very, very short and very difficult. And when we talk about tactics, we really refer to a short sequence of moves that ends up winning material. That's generally what a tactic is. You may have heard the phrase a tactical shot. Usually, a short series of moves, like maybe a 1 to 3 move sequence that either wins a pawn or a piece, things of that nature. Now, you may have heard the term a combination. That usually refers to a much longer series of moves that either leads to mate or a material gain. And tactics, as a chess coach for me, tactics really also refers to not, losing material unnecessarily. Because basically if a student is still dropping pawns or still dropping pieces, that's really a tactical issue, and that needs to be cleaned up as quickly as possible. A student could have, a good working knowledge of opening theory or middle game theory, but, like I said, if they're still dropping pieces and having tactical problems, including missing opportunities to win material from your opponent, like I said, the student's progress is going to be difficult. So that's something that really needs to be cleaned up right away. And, for a beginner or someone with a little tournament experience, we'll, discuss the different tactical motifs, such as pins and skewers and discovered attacks, things of that nature. And there's some good training software I use, and depending on the level of the student, I'll gauge it accordingly. If they need a lot of work in the basics, we'll do easier problems, and for the ones who are really getting it, we'll do more difficult things. But I'm going to start out with this problem here, and this was from a tournament game that I played at the Queen's Chess Club, which is a nice club. And I always like to use positions from real games, or if I use books or software and things of that nature, I always make sure that they took the positions from real games, because you want to show the student positions that he or she will likely encounter in a real game. And I was white here. Okay, my opponent I think was a little over 1400, maybe 1406, something like that. And it's white to move. It's my move. And, as I always say, before you make a move, we need to understand exactly what's happening in the position first. Okay? And as you can see, white's doing very well. Okay? I was up a pawn here. White is up a pawn. And I have control of the C file. Okay? My bishop is, is very strong on D3, but black's bishop really isn't doing much on D7. It's attacking the knight on A4. The knight's protected, but his bishop's still attacking it nonetheless. But notice that his bishop is a kind of a bad bishop because it's blocked by his center pawns. Okay. Black is eyeing the E4 square with his knight. I mean, my bishop covers it for now, but just to be aware of the position. So basically, white's up a pawn. I want to continue my pressure on the queen side where I have space. Black's A5 pawn is very weak, as you can see. So I have a good position here, and as is generally the case with tactics, a tactical move usually occurs when you've developed a good position first. So it's white's move here, and take a look at it. I played knight C5 simply because look at the control I have over the C5 square. It's a beautiful square, and if you can get a knight further in up the board on a secure post, that's a great move. So I really don't want to trade here. Why would I want to let him trade that bad bishop for a knight that can be very valuable? So I moved it here. Okay, knight C5. And now black then did this. He went bishop C6, okay, which is a mistake. And in this position, white has a tactical move here. Okay, and what I'll do with the student, I'll say, look at the position, what do you think white should do here? What do you think about black's last move? And one of the things, the way to really discover whether or not you have a tactical shot is to sort of follow a little rule that I like. I don't know if you're familiar with Jeremy Silman. He's an international master, and he's written a great deal about the middle game. And I really like his mode of thinking. He talks about tactic as well, even though Silman's known for his middle game work. I remember reading in one of his books, he says there are 3 ways to really know or to sort of signal you that a flag should go up for a tactical shot. And he goes, it's 3 things. He goes, if there are any pieces that are undefended, if there are any pieces that are inadequately defended, or if your opponent's king is loose or vulnerable. And I just think that's just a very strong statement because it's so true. I know it served me well. So undefended pieces, inadequately defended pieces, or a loose or vulnerable king. So looking at the position, after I did knight c5, he did bishop c6. The bishop's now undefended, and that's something I would want the student to notice. The bishop's undefended, and also from a positional point of view, see, when I went knight c5, you'll notice that he moved the bishop because he didn't want me to take it. But the truth is, positionally, that's a bad move. Why? Because this is a great minor piece, the knight, and this is not such a great minor piece. So black would actually welcome a trade there. That actually relieves him. Okay, but why would I want to trade this great piece for that bishop? So by protecting it, that shows that, positionally it was a mistake as well, because, he would, like I said, he would welcome knight takes d7, but he moved there. And take a minute, pause the video if you need to, see what you think white should do here. Okay, the correct move is this: knight takes e6. Pretty little tactical shot. And the reason is, it's what we call a discovered attack. Notice that the rook now attacks the bishop. So if he takes, which he did, I get my investment back, and now I won another pawn. Do you see that? And those types of these types of tactical moves you really need to see as a tournament player, because they occur all the time in amateur games. But what I'll do with the student is we'll look at it, of course, without moving the pieces. And hopefully the student will be able to see knight takes e6. And what I tell my students also is you have to look at all of the possible responses. You have to make sure that, before you make this what seems like a great move, that black doesn't have anything he can do to show you that it's wrong. So when I played this in my tournament, I looked at, after knight takes d6, I looked at this. Okay? I said, does he have anything there? No. He doesn't. But, the fact is I have to look at it because it attacks my queen. So I simply would, in that case, just take, and then he would take, right? So I'm still up 2 pawns. And then, I could simply take his bishop, or if I want to keep the knight, I'd go like that, and then this is hanging. So you do need to look at all the possibilities. That's very important. Okay? But when I played, he did this, and then when I played knight e6, I saw that, and I saw that it was nothing. And it works because this is what's called a discovered attack, because moving the knight discovered the attack from the rook on the bishop. That's why it's always good to have your rooks on open files. And I'm also attacking his queen and his rook. So that's why the tactic works. Okay? Obviously, if he moves one of these pieces, I just take the other one. And, he responded correctly. I mean, he's losing a pawn, but f takes e6 is the correct defense. He just has to concede that he's losing a pawn, otherwise he's down more material. And then I took with rook takes c6, and, went on to win the game. So, again, what I want you to learn from this, these are, basic tactical ideas that you need to see. And these are the types of, positions I would give my student, and, to determine which areas of tactics that we need to work on. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and be sure to check out my 2 other videos on tactics and teaching. And I have some videos on some other topics as well. Thank you.